Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 83 in the Gospel of John. Today, Martha is going to get a second diamond. Yesterday, we talked about the first diamond. Today, we're going to talk about the second diamond. So, yesterday, we stood in appreciation for diamond number one that our dear Lord gives to Martha. Now, Martha's come a long way. She starts out in the Bible as basically a knucklehead, and she's come a long way. And at this point, she goes far to meet Jesus in a crisis of her life, which she's just determined not to miss this wonderful moment with Jesus. It's a crisis. Her brothers died, and Jesus basically let him die, and now he's coming. He's going to raise him from the dead, but she doesn't know that quite yet. And Jesus gives this incredible diamond, this precious thing, not to kings or priests or even males or the Elon Musk, the rich people of the day. He gives them to the one he loves. He gives this treasure to Martha now, and by extension, now he's going to give this to us. So the first diamond goes to Martha, his revelation, which is, I am the resurrection and the life. Listen in here. This is from John chapter 11, verse 20. So when Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went to him. But Mary remained seated in the house there in grieving because the brother has died. Martha says to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that whatever you ask from God, God will give you. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection on the last day. Jesus said to her, here it is. I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. And everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? Verse 27, she said to him, yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who is coming into the world. So people have had a death problem ever since the consequences of Adam and Eve in the garden. Every person, every family, every parent, every accident, every sickness, every grandparent, every Martha, this is a huge issue for humanity. So what is it that Jesus asks us to know about himself? Well, two diamonds. The first one is, I'm the guy. I am the resurrection and the life. And then the second one that we're going to talk about today is, I'm going to make that diamond, all this wonderfulness that is me, I'm going to make it accessible to you. You can have it for yourself. It can be real for you. So how? Well, diamond number two is this invitation, an ask. Will you believe? Will you associate yourself with this wonderful power that I have, which is resurrection and life? So belief, for us, is going to be a life and death situation, and we're going to emphasize that believing event here today. So diamond number one is this new name for God that will last forever. We're going to call Jesus this when we walk down the golden streets in heaven. I am the resurrection and the life. We can verbally address Jesus that way today, tomorrow, and in forever days. So resurrection and eternal life are so closely tied together that there's like no daylight in between, and both are found in him. He's this source and this engine that enables the resurrection of the dead and eternal life with him. But diamond number two is, hey, do you want some of this? How do we get a part of his wonder? Diamond number one is his wonder. He's the resurrection and life. That's fantastic. Okay, so Jesus wants to be known in this exact way. I am the resurrection and the life. So the first diamond that Martha gets from Jesus is himself, who he is. I am the resurrection and the life. And sometimes it's helpful to say the opposite, no Jesus, no resurrection, no Jesus, no eternal life. All right, so here's the second diamond that I want to talk about today. The second diamond is this diamond of invitation that he gives. So whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. Everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? So Jesus, diamond number one, is in a sense holy and separate from our fallen world, but he's come here, and he still has this diamond of power and resurrection and possibility of life with him. And we should disciples who go on like, hey, I want a part of that. How do I do that? How do I sign up? just think, he doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to invite us to fellowship with himself, but he does. I think the term associative Christianity is a helpful way to understand this. So the accomplishments of Jesus and our standing, our rights, our familial privileges are found solely in our association with him. No associative Christianity, no real Christianity, no coattail Christianity, another way to say it, no Christianity. In other words, we get the benefits of belief by associating to the wonder that he is. So the big ask today is belief. Diamond number 2 is this invitation to belief, and we have to kind of do a self-assessment. The first assessment is who he is. That's diamond number 1. I'm the resurrection and the life. The I am is amazing. What good is this for us? It's like, well, that's all great, God. You're fantastic. How do I benefit? What's in it? What's in it for me? Well, that's diamond number 2. Is I'm giving you a chance to join the party, and this person, Jesus, this family of God, this kingdom. And how do I do that? Well, it's by belief. And Jesus gives an invitation for the belief here today. He gives, it's the same call in Philippians 3, verse 9. He says, I want to be found in him. So when all is said and done, when the dust settles, will we be found in him? Will we be believing in him, standing with him, being in association with him, and standing on his coattails? So Christ is inviting us to be united to him, believe in his name, and believe in his son. All right, so diamond number 1 is who I am. It's I am the resurrection and the life. But the plea today, the treasure today is, don't just admire diamond number 1. Let's enact diamond number 2, which is to believe, to receive, to entrust. So diamond number 1, this wonderful God asks us to pick up diamond number 2, which is believe. All right, so in conclusion today, do you believe this? If so, fantastic, and come back tomorrow. But if you don't believe this, or at least not yet, then I'm going to say the same thing. Come back tomorrow, because there's going to be more. Thanks for coming today.